Hi Aries, welcome. So Aries, this is going to be your tarot reading and we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. Aries, wow, what a movable, changeable energy coming through, right? As a collective, we're all feeling some major shifts, okay? So this could be coming through as like literal movement, moving places, moving houses, travel, etc. But it could also be as subtle as like energy moving within your emotional space, Aries, changing your feelings about something or changing your mind about something. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling coming through. The song that I got was Black Hole Sun. In fact, it was playing so loudly, like it was making it hard for me to meditate. So some of you might connect with that song, or you might just randomly hear that song somewhere. If so, come back to this reading and maybe watch it again, and check out the lyrics, see if that resonates with you at all. So Aries, yeah, okay, so I'm also getting a message about a total eclipse, and I don't mean like astrologically speaking. I mean like there's an eclipsing of something in the collective Aries energy, which again is what I'm feeling, that like changeable energy around Aries. So let's get some cards out and see where we're headed and go a little bit deeper. So you have Neptune and Gemini here, Piscean Gemini energy. This is talking about your dream state, imagination. It's kind of a little bit of a nostalgic type of vibe, but it is talking about having compassion, having, if I could talk, empathy. Tapping into that more emotional side of you, Aries. Sometimes this can talk about escapism or fantasy. You might feel like you're a little bit maybe all in the fantasy of something or someone. And then with that paired with the Gemini, this is talking about being more social, your social network, collaborating, communicating, right? Some of you might want to literally speak on a fantasy of yours, okay? Or you might be connecting with someone that maybe wants to do that for you, Aries, because this is a very vocal type of energy. Sometimes it can be a little bit restless, right? And you might notice that your sleep state is a little bit restless, okay? Or your dream state might be a little bit in and out during this time frame as well, as this tends to be like a fast-moving energy, and sometimes that can bring yeah, like this restlessness that comes with it, Aries. So let's see what else for Aries. And all I can hear is that song. Black old sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Which is interesting because it's about to rain out right now where I'm at. Anyways, you have the Seven of Wands, Four of Wands. So this talks about challenges and freedom. So Aries, it could feel like there's been something challenging your ability to have true freedom, you know, whether that be like prior obligations that you have going on or things that you need to tie up. It's almost like some of y'all are getting a little bit restless, like wanting to have this complete independence, right? But feeling like maybe there's something standing in the way of that, and it could feel a little bit frustrating here for you, Aries. But the encouragement is to, again, to stay balanced with your emotions and not go too far into the frustration of something here, Aries, because I do feel like, especially with Neptune here, there's some sort of solution coming through. Or actually what they're saying is, what I'm getting from this message is that it's all in the way you perceive something, right? Because our reality begins in the mind. And as opposed to seeing something as a challenge, they want you to see the other side of that. Like, I guess kind of like the silver lining, like what growth is going to come out of that, what expansion can come out of that. So as opposed to looking at something as like, oh my gosh, this is something I have to do, or I feel obligated to do, they're wanting you to kind of flip that around and say to yourself, this is what I get to do, you know, or I'm so happy I'm capable of being able to do this, right? Like they're wanting you to kind of flip your perception on something. And it's simple. It's as simple as changing the way that you think about it. And that's also what the eclipse energy is about, is like changing the way that you are thinking about something, and that literally changing the energy around a situation, Aries. And it sounds like such a simple solution, and it really is, but sometimes it's hard to get out of our own way when we're perceiving something as difficult or challenging, right? And then I'm also getting, some of you are up for the challenge though. Some of you know like something's going to be a little bit of work, but I feel like it's worth it to you. There could be something else going on that like is fantasy driven or on an emotional level you've been thinking about, and maybe there's some barriers or some challenges around that, but I feel you being willing to like kind of go through that, or like you're up for the fight or something, which, you know, that's very Aries like y'all don't back down from much, right? Sometimes y'all invite challenges just because of that fiery nature. So let's see what else. You have the Muse of Emotion, the Knight of Emotion, and the Lovers. Holy cow. Some of you definitely have love on the brain, or relationships in general being highlighted, okay? This is a lot of emotional energy here, and communicate how you're feeling, Aries, okay? So don't hold back during this time frame. Some of you have a significant connection here showing up, and it doesn't have to be intimate. It could be platonic, but for a lot of you it is intimate. And I feel like this is really strong here, okay? Soulmate, twin flame type of energy for some of you. And yet there's some sort of challenge around it, or there's some sort of change that has to occur here. But then I'm also hearing like in due time. When is the next eclipse? Because maybe that's the timing of this, of some sort of change that's coming through. If you know when the next eclipse is, put it in the chat or in the comment section. As I feel like that time frame is like important, right? Yeah, and it may feel temporarily like things are kind of upside down or maybe not working in your favor, but if you just give it time, I feel like the energy stabilizes. And then there's some sort of choice coming up here, Aries. And maybe, you know, if you're feeling pulled in two different directions, I feel like there's universal forces here at hand. So I feel like there's going to be a change, whether you make the change or something outside of you makes this change. Because often the Tower is like universe kind of stepping in and creating that shift for us. Sometimes that happens because we've been resisting change for too long, okay? Or putting something off for too long. So FYI, if there's something you've been putting off here, Aries, it's time to, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say make a decision, but for some reason I was tempted to say shit or get off the pot. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. But, you know, whatever. So let's go a little bit further and see. And Aries, there might also, because this can be vice versa, right? There may be someone here that wants to express their emotion to you during this time frame. But maybe for some reason they find that challenging. Maybe there's barriers going on in this person's life as well. There's a bit of juggling going on here. And I do feel like whether they're ready for it or not, there is a change coming in that situation. Okay. So let's go deeper into the emotional space, Aries. I just noticed you guys can't see the cards at all. That's a bummer. I'm sorry. This is a new setup, new angle for me. So be patient as I figure this out. Let me try and change the, oops, I just knocked over my water, the angle. Can you see it better? There we go. Okay. All right, so in the emotional space, you have the 8 of Inspiration, the 2 of Inspiration. What else? And I'm getting the word perseverance, right? Like you're going to persevere, or this might require some perseverance to push through something, but there's inspiration coming out of this experience, right? And what is the inspiration about? The Four of Voices. Something you envisioned, Aries, something that you envisioned wants to come through, okay? And I feel like it's during the next eclipse, but time is malleable, so this could happen during August. I'm not sure if there's an eclipse in August, but again, let me know. And it's after maybe a challenging period or a period of time where you had to persevere, okay? But the encouragement, Aries, is to stay in this, I don't want to say fantasy-driven state. It's more of like an imaginative state. Like, people do not understand the power of imagination. And unfortunately, as we get older, we start to lose our imagination altogether, which, since we create with our mind, it does a disservice to us. It makes life a little bit lackluster and boring the older we get because we lack that creativity over time. And there's a message here, Aries, about not letting that imaginative, creative part of yourself go, to bask a little bit more, to spend more time imagining things how you would like them to be, to carve out your reality by giving all of your focus to the fantasy of something or the imagination of something. And they don't want you to be specific. They want you to be very general. Like, so say that there is a specific person that you're wanting, right? Or a home or a job, whatever. They're wanting you to take the specifics out of it and to instead just sit and allow yourself to imagine what it would feel like, right? If you were to manifest that. And go into the feeling of having whatever this is that you've envisioned, okay? Because when you compare thought, when you compare your thought with the emotional vibration to match, you manifest that much quicker, right? So it's like you have to get into a space of allowing yourself to feel the emotion of having something as if it was already yours, right? Yeah, and then I heard take a step back, Aries, and be proud. Okay, so maybe a little bit of reflection needed during this time frame. A little pat skis on the back maybe to yourself, you know. Anyways, so it's almost like some of y'all are afraid that, like, if you know, imagine exactly what you want, that you'll somehow be let down, or that you'll overlook the reality or what could go wrong with the situation. And while I understand that the logical brain thinks that way, and it's not wrong to think that way, to weigh things out, but just understand that in order to create something outside of what you currently have, you have to stretch the limits of your mind. And that means go into imaginative thought and not fear, you know, what could go wrong, and instead place all of your energy onto what could go right. Stop naysaying your own desires here, Aries. I have another song coming through. It's Andra Day, Rise Up. And I rise up. That's a beautiful song. Check that song out as well. All right, so let's see what else. The Ace of Voices, the Muse of Voices. The Strength card. And the 8 of Materials. All right, so Aries, yes. So there's some sort of insight coming through here. Maybe after a period of time of feeling split, a split decision, or of two minds about something. You know, it does require strength, right? To build. Really, hold on a second. To rebuild. To rebuild. Some of you might be in the process of like building yourself up after a period of time of having low self-esteem, or rebuilding your life, or like I said, some of you having major changes like location changes, job changes, things of that nature. But I'm definitely getting a message about rebuilding, okay? And you having the ability and the strength to do that. It's like they want you to see every situation as having two sides to it, the wanted and the not wanted. And how do you know what the outcome will be? Well, where has the majority of your focus been? If the majority of your focus has been on the unwanted aspect of that situation, you are likely to manifest that. And I heard repeat it. Whereas if the majority of your focus has been on the wanted aspect of a situation, then you are likely to have the best outcome. And I think that's why they're wanting you to kind of throw this practical, logical, analytical, let me weigh the pros and the cons out, because it's not really serving you during this time period. Instead, they're wanting you to sit in the fantasy or the imagination of something, without naysaying it, without throwing shade on your own insight, on your own desires. And that's really all that it requires, because this card talks about things working out for you. And really, the only negative card I have out is the 7 of Voices, which is, this card talks about your mind playing tricks on you, you know, by telling you fearful thoughts, insecure thoughts. And you know what I just noticed? There's a fox on this card. Y'all know, if you follow me on Facebook, I had 3 foxes show up on my doorstep. There's a video of it on my Facebook. Check it out if you're not on there. Tarot Time with Dana. But I just noticed there's foxes in this picture, and foxes also came up in the Leo reading. If you have Leo in your chart or dealing with a Leo, check that reading when it comes out later this week. But look at the spiritual meaning of foxes, Aries. That might mean something to you as well. Okay. But otherwise, to me, it's like things are lining up, particularly when it comes to the emotional aspect of your life, or a specific relationship. Even if there's challenges around it, I feel like these challenges are temporary, because the Tower is coming through here, okay? So let's see what the law of attraction has to say about this then for you, Aries. It says all is well. Babies are beings from the non-physical, eternally coming forth for the creation of which they decide. The babies are wanting so much for you to know that all is well. Wow, interesting. Some of you, it specifically says babies. So if you're of age and you don't want babies, you might want to be careful about that. But for the rest of you, what this is saying is that all really is well, right? Spirit is continually replenishing itself through you. And if you could just relax a little bit, Aries, and allow yourself to go into replenishment mode, you'll see that these challenges are minor setbacks, okay? So stay positive, Aries. I hope that this reading resonated with you guys. I'm going to be putting out more content now that I'm settled in my new location. So stay tuned for that. I am going to do one bonus round of the you versus them readings for those of you who enjoy those readings. I'm going to be doing that for the next round as a special bonus, so stay tuned. Also, zodiac signs that you might be dealing with during this time frame or have in your own chart. I've got Leo here, Gemini, Pisces, Leo again, Aries, and Sagittarius. Okay, so those are the, and Gemini, if I didn't say that. Those are the primary signs I'm seeing, but it's a general read, guys, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Sorry, also Scorpio energy here. If it did resonate, please do let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff, as I do have videos over there. Tarot Time with Dana, all of it linked in the description box below, as well as in the About section of my YouTube, where you can find the donation link. Otherwise, I am wishing you guys the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste.